When you create a Unity project for the first time, you'll be presented with the main Unity editor interface, which you can see in front of you here. And it is in this interface that game developers are going to spend a long time. These are the main panels and areas of the interface that are necessary for development. So in front of you, you can see occupying the largest area of screen space is this square section here, which is called the Scene tab. And the Scene tab effectively is a director's eye view of the level. So we use this viewport to explore a game world and to construct together a level. Now on the left hand side you can see we have what is called the hierarchy panel, which works together with the Scene tab here. So inside my scene you can see that I have a camera object and a lamp, and that's pretty much all that I have. And if I expand this section here, the untitled section, that is the name of the scene currently being viewed here. And again, inside Unity, the name scene simply means a level or an environment. So in this case, I have one single scene open. If I expand that scene, you can see that we have a list of the objects contained within the scene. So in this case, I have the camera, which is called main camera, and I have the light, which is called the directional light. And actually I can use my mouse to left click and select objects inside the scene, but I can also select them here from the hierarchy panel. So for example, I can click on the camera to select the camera. I can click on the directional light to select that too. Now as I'm changing my selection between these objects, you'll notice on the panel on the right hand side, we have the object inspector. And this simply displays the properties for the selected object. So this is a context-sensitive panel. That means that as I select objects, the contents of the inspector change to show me the properties that relate to the selected object. So by selecting this, I can see, for example, that this camera has a position of 0, 1, -10 in the scene. That's its coordinate position on the X, Y, and Z axis. The same thing for the directional light. If I select the directional light, I can see that the position of the directional light is 0, 3, 0, again on the X, Y, and Z axis. And I can tell this because when this lamp is selected, the properties are shown here inside the object inspector. Now at the bottom in this horizontal view, we have the project panel, which is critically important. But we're going to see a lot more about the project panel later in this course. But effectively, the project panel represents a complete library of content that we can drag and drop into the level to use. So inside the project panel, we're going to have meshes, textures, sounds, all different kinds of game assets that we can drag and drop into the level to include that in our levels. Right now, the project panel is empty. This folder is empty, and that should not be surprising to us because we've created a completely new and empty Unity project. We haven't added any content to this project yet. This is something that we will add later to the project panel. So this is pretty much an overview of the main Unity interface. This layout of its panels and controls is called the default layout, and I can tell that by moving my mouse to the top right hand side here where we have the layout presets. And you can see that currently we're on the default Unity layout, and I'm going to be using this layout primarily throughout this course when showing you how Unity works. However, in the next movie, we're going to explore some of the alternative user interface presets to change the layout. You may prefer to use some of these. Of course, going forwards, after the next video, we're going to be using the default layout. But in the next movie, we're going to explore a variety of alternative layouts.